Hi, I'm Richard Tang, CEO of Zen Internet. I'm here in the warehouse of Rochdale Food Bank with Iain White, who is the development manager and founder of Rochdale Food Bank, and also with David Brereton, who is CEO of Myson Pages. And Zen and Myson Pages both support Rochdale Food Bank alongside a whole bunch of other businesses in Rochdale. But Iain, start with you. You founded the food bank all the way back in 2012 with your wife. So tell us a bit of a story about why you did that and what's happened in the intervening years.
It's always a long story, isn't it? But the short story is that we saw in Colombia in South America something similar happening and said, that might be something that would help. But we were thinking more in terms of just supporting church families or people we just came across who might be in need. So we had a kind of very small scale idea, but we saw a Trussell Trust promotion on BBC television in 2012, said that looks like the sort of thing we wanted to get involved with, and that started the ball rolling. And we literally started with nothing, and we didn't have a building, we didn't have any food, we didn't have any money, and we just had this desire to serve the community with food because people were telling us that there was a real need out there. And within 3 months, we had 5,000 kilos of food dotted in people's garages and living rooms. We got involved through the town centre management with the nightclub owners of South Parade, and they were trying to do a deal with us to let us rent their nightclub for our first food bank, which worked out in the end. And so somebody gave us £3,000 to give us the first 6 months to get going, and then the ball started rolling. 70 volunteers turned up, and the thing exploded really after that. Yeah.
And what is the need today in Rochdale?
We're an emergency food supplier, so it's people who find themselves in a crisis. Now, the crisis can be just as simple as the washing machine broke down and they've replaced it, but they have no money left for food, or they've just moved house and the costs have gone back more than they expected, or the family's just broken up and the wife's got no money and she's got 2 kids to feed. The stories are just many and varied, or it can just be a benefits delay. They're just waiting for benefits to come through. But we're talking 100 plus every week, and it's been like that for 12 years. Yeah.
David, your involvement with the food bank goes back a bit.
Yeah, probably during COVID, to be honest. One of our customers, H. Bells and Sons, the builders in Rochdale, rang us up and said, could we donate a laptop? But there was a bit more to it than that. You'd moved into this new place in Newgate, ironically into one of the units that we had a customer in years ago, so we knew the building. And we came down with the laptop, but then we realised the rest of your IT was a bit of a shambles. So we obviously helped out and sort that out, and we quickly spotted that you were paying for a Zen connection. So we then roped Richard in to not pay for that and do that for free. Absolutely. And we've since roped Zen in for the volunteer days to help you on collecting stuff at supermarkets. And I think it's a great example of how lots of Rochdale businesses have come together to help. So, our cabling subcontractor has made this wireless now in your warehouse. Yeah. You've got Steve from the carpet flooring place, who's a link to our BNI chapter, who's done lots of carpeting for you. Yeah. And it's just about these people coming together because we all recognise this is a need, and if we can do something and we can do it at no cost, then that lets you get on with doing what you're doing.
It's a fantastic help because infrastructure is not easy to get funding for, and core costs are really hard to get grants for. But we just want to get money that we get donated to buy food with, because we never have quite enough donations and we have to pay. So we spent £40,000 in 2022, another £40,000 in 2023, just buying in the food to make sure we met the need. And so when we've got infrastructure issues, the fact that we can turn to this network of businesses and say, please, can somebody help with this? Sometimes we've got the cash, we could do it ourselves, but it just diverts that cash from something that is probably more useful for the community. So, it just works there's a great synergy about it, and I love the idea that the whole community gets together to provide this service, that this is not just this little charity in the middle, that we are actually all in this incredible network of.
Yeah, and I think once you see what you do
cooperation.
and the kind of people you're helping, and you understand that to actually come to the food bank, you have to be referred via an agency.
Yeah.
You can't just turn up. It kind of demonstrates the scale and the organisation behind it. So aside from doing the IT, we've been a regular collector for you now, and we did a business breakfast back in March where we said everybody who comes can have a free breakfast, but you got to bring some tins,
Yes.
which seemed like a fair exchange at the time. So
And most people were.
we were weighed down with donations, but it's great, and I think the more businesses get involved, the better.
Yes, and I think trying to find ways, and it's something I'm trying to develop this coming year, is to find ways that make businesses feel comfortable supporting charities rather than feeling obligated or under some pressure to do something. I think it is really important. So I think the idea that we can say, here's a need, does anybody feel like they want to fulfill that need, I think is a great way of approaching it.
Well, it's always easiest to do the thing you do. So for Richard, it's easy to donate an internet connection.
Yeah, sure.
For us, it's easy to help with the IT. So, if you find the people that you need, or you've got people who can put you in contact with us, then we're all here to help.
Absolutely, no. It's a brilliant community facility. We really appreciate it, genuinely.
So Iain, I'd be interested to hear how people end up at your doorstep, because I believe they get referred through a whole variety of different routes.
They do, and we consider our referral agents to be our eyes and ears into the community. They see and hear things that we have no idea what the need is out there. So when they find somebody who's in a crisis, and the crisis can be they've just run out of cash this week for a whole range of reasons. The car broke down, the washing machine's needs fixing, somebody's turned up out of the blue, there's an extra mouth to feed in the family, there's a family breakdown, the husband's gone off with the money and left the woman with 3 kids and no cash, and or there's refugees struggling, and we have a lot of language issues right now, a lot of refugees struggling to make ends meet with the housing costs because private rent costs are going up all the time. So, there's benefit issues then of delays and people getting onto benefit systems, and there's the 5-week wait whilst it comes through. We have to fill that gap for them. So lots of many different reasons why people find their way to our door. And, we start off by giving them food, because at least if they've got food on the table, it takes pressure off everybody until something else can be done. So then what else can be done is now the next question that we're trying to work with, again, those referral agencies, to say, what can we all do together to stop that person coming back here for more food?
And is the problem getting better or worse?
Well, it's holding, I think, is about the best thing you can say at the moment. I don't think it's getting worse, but it's definitely not getting any better. Given that people can't come to our food bank more than 3 times in 6 months, so we're turning over new clients all the time. So it's not the same people going back week in, week out.
I think it was when you told me that originally, you then start to do the maths and think, well, if you're still shipping that tonnage of food every month, that's to different people. It's not the same people every week.
No.
So that makes you realise it's a much bigger problem than maybe even you realise.
Yeah, well, I think so. And I think we're trying to track down now what percentage are first-time users in any given month. I think it's currently running about 25%. So sometimes the people here, I think nationally the average is 2-point-something visits. So it's not like a huge number, but it's certainly people come back 2 or 3 times or 4 times, and then they're sorted, and then we don't see them again, or we might see them a year later again. There's lots of different scenarios why people come back, but there's a lot of first-time people, which is a scary thing.
Yeah.
And if anyone watching this, you do such a wonderful job here, you and the army of volunteers, the businesses that have contributed. If someone's watching this and wants to get involved, find out more, volunteer, donate, or if a business wants to help out, where should they go to find out more?
Well, they should go to our website, rochdale.foodbank.org.uk, which needs bringing up to date, which I'm just working on at the moment. But we also have food gift boxes, so if you email at info@rochdale.foodbank.org.uk, then and say what it is, whether you want to volunteer, whether you want to collect food for us, or you want to donate money, then somebody will get back to you and make the necessary connections.
Fantastic. Iain, David, thank you very much, and thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.